What is this all about? Who are we? What is this? Who am I? Seriously, like, do you know who you really, really are? Like, what are we? What is this? Are we just this body or what? So yeah, are you ready to find out who you really are? Well, in this video, you will find out. If you're open-minded enough, if you're patient enough, if you hear me out, if you're focused, then you will understand who you really, essentially are. But before that, let me introduce myself. I'm George, the photographer. I'm more than a photographer. I'm also a philosopher. Or at least I like to talk about philosophical stuff. And I'm into spirituality, and I'm into understanding. I want to understand how everything works. Since I was a little kid, I was an observer, and I try to understand how everything works. And that's why I became a professional observer, a photographer, right? So, and what I do as a photographer is, as a photographer, is not only photographs, but I really take screenshots and space and time in space and time. This is how I like to think about it. I take screenshots, and in these light codes, right, I like to decode them. I like to try to understand the deeper meaning behind them, as I do with everything. That's what my brain does. It always tries to connect dots and to see patterns and all that. And they say that a photograph is worth more than 1,000 words, right? So yeah, as a photographer, this is what I do. I read out loud the hidden 1,000 words in my photographs. I'm seeking for wisdom in the light. And if you seek, you shall find. So, being this photographer brought me a lot of answers. I found them in my photographs. I found them so many beautiful stories that emerged out of my photos. And you know, my photography was and is at the same time my therapy. It helped me so much, and this is why I'm doing now these videos, and why I became this photographer, because I want to share everything that I found for myself. I wanted to share it with you, and yeah, this is who I am. But I think that's enough for now. More on who I am and what I do and why I'm doing this in the next video. So for now, let's go back to our main subject for today. We want to find out who we really, really are. So a few days ago, I asked my followers on Instagram if they have some philosophical, spiritual questions, you know. And one question was, what makes a human a spiritual being? So yeah, this is what we're gonna talk about today. First of all, the word human. Officially, it comes from the Latin humanus, which means civilized, refined, or cultivated, you know. But there is another perspective on the word human, which I really love, and it is hue and man. Hue means color or light, because there are no colors without light, right? So on the one side you have light and On the other side, you have the word man, which could mean manifested. So together we have a form of light manifested into a body. How beautiful is that? So this is what you are. A form of light manifested in a body. What? Like I said, maybe this translation of the word human may not be the official one, but it is a different and another perspective. And there are so many more perspectives on just this one word, because there's also the Greek homo. You can dig up the Sanskrit meaning of the word human and all that. There are many perspectives, and this is the beauty of our reality. There is not one truth. There is not only one perspective on things. There are infinite perspectives, and all of them are true. If it is true for you, it's legit. If it's true for me, it's legit. And this is the beauty of our reality, isn't it? So this brings me to say that, in these videos that I'm doing, I share my perspectives on things. So keep in mind that everything that I say is not the absolute truth, but it is my truth. Everything that I will share here on my channel is my perspective on things. And I think that is what it's all about. We came here to experience different perspectives. You have your perspective, I have my perspective, and we came here to experience these different perspectives on things, and then to share them with each other, so that we can get a broader, a holistic understanding of the essence of our reality. In the beginning, there was oneness, right? There was just one consciousness, God. This infinite, intelligent consciousness is also just unconditional love. It's a core of bright light which consists of just pure love. This is how everything began. So there was this one consciousness, and it was everything and it was nothing. How beautiful is that? Just to be love, and to be everything and to be nothing. It's nice, right? But at some point, because you are an infinite thing or no thing, it will get boring. So this consciousness at some point was like, all right, that's cool, it's nice, I'm everything, I'm nothing, I'm all there is, but I want to explore myself without me knowing that I'm exploring myself. So this consciousness got this thought of experiencing reality. Well, to be more precise, this consciousness focused on this thought, and when energy gets a focus point, when it concentrates, then there will be some coherence, and this everything will start to synchronize, and this everything will be like and this vibration will refine itself more and more. It will be more precise to get to this thought, to become this thought, right? And the thought was, I want to experience everything. And the next thing that happened was this Big Bang. That is what happened. So you see this torus, which is an electromagnetic field. It is a self-sufficient electromagnetic field, right? This field doesn't need energy from the outside too. It is an infinite thing. And you see this electromagnetic field everywhere. Look at it. It could be an apple sliced open, right? It is also our aura. This is also our system. And in this picture, you can also see this Big Bang, right? So when this Big Bang happened, these photons, this points of light shoot out in every direction. And by that, space and time was created. So these photons started from the core, a journey, as you can see, into the darkness. This is who you are, and this is who I am. We are a photon. This point of light is our essence. Every point of these photons, every point of these lights are souls, you could say. This is what a soul is. So through this Big Bang, every possibility is now manifesting, right? And these souls started a journey into the darkness, like I said. In the beginning, it's like, okay, cool, I'm still close to the source. I got it. I got this. Like, I'm cool. Of course, you immediately forget that you are part of this core. But you're so excited that you don't really care about what's going on behind you. Like you're going out to explore into this universe. Like you became suddenly you became stuff. You're excited. You're separated now from the source, and it's exciting. But you're traveling out into the darkness, and at some point you will reach a point where it will be very, very, very dark and cold and lonely, and this illusion that you're separated and that you're alone will be very, very tough. But it is still just an illusion, because you can see that at some point you will go back. It's just a matter of time. And you are the one that you wanted to play this game, right? You wanted to become a perspective. That's so crazy to me. That's so fascinating to me, right? So you are on this beautiful, exciting journey on your own, separated from the source. And things are cool, yeah, exciting. But you're realizing that, things are getting crazy. Like, it's about surviving, right? In your previous lives, you had to go through, I don't know, dinosaurs. Maybe you've been a dinosaur at some point. You've been also a mountain and a plant, a dinosaur, whatever. And at some point, this soul defined itself, like this separatedness became like so specific that the soul was formed into an ego, into a person. At some point, you've been a being which doesn't know that it is, right? For example, a bird is just a bird, and it is just flying around, and it doesn't even know that it is a bird, because it doesn't have an ego yet. It is concerned about surviving, of course, but this bird doesn't know that it is a bird. But things got uglier and uglier, and you became a human at some point in one of your previous lives, and you started to form this brain and this ego, and you understood that you really need to be in service of yourself first to be sure to survive, right? And at the same time, fear emerged in this experience, and this is why you came. This is why you started this whole thing, to experience everything, and to get a contrast to what you was before, when you were this God, right? In the beginning, you were just unconditional love, but it was nice to be that, but you didn't know what it is. You will know what it really is when you experience the opposite, when you experience fear. Then you can appreciate what love is, right? So, back to our Taurus. At some point you will reach the most dark, the coldest point, the most darkness in your journey, and it's tough, right? You know. And at this point, you will stop looking outside, in the outside, for God. Because through all this journey, when it got darker and darker and colder, you were like, oh man, I need to survive, and it's so hard. Is there something that can maybe help me? Is there a God? God, help me. please, I'm struggling. And again, when it gets so dark and so cold that there is really, really, really nothing outside, then you will not have another choice but to look inside. And then you will experience for yourself that you are really part of God. You are this light. Only you, only yourself can help you out of this darkness. How? Through love. When you start to love your light, when you start to nurture your light, it will become bigger and bigger. Because, as I said, in this photo, in this picture, you can see an electromagnetic field. This is the Big Bang, but this is also you. Like, this is also your aura. What is an aura? It is an electromagnetic field which consists out of your heart and your brain. Electromagnetic field, like your mind, your brain functions on electricity. There are electric synapses going on, and right, and your heart is pumping. It is creating a magnetic field. So when your brain and your heart in harmony, your electromagnetic field will become bigger. Your light will become bigger. And when your light will become bigger and bigger, then you are losing this fear of the darkness, because you are the light. And darkness disappears in light speed, right? And when your electromagnetic field grows bigger, then you're magnetizing other electromagnetic fields to you. You will attract other lights to you. Other souls will join you. And at this point, you're realizing that you are not alone. You will realize that you are God. You are this unconditional love. And then the journey back to the source, back to God starts. Isn't that beautiful? And that's where you stop being in service to yourself, in service to your ego, and you start to being in service to others, because you understand that the answer lies in unconditional love. And you start to love everything, everyone, and yourself. And and the separated consciousness will team up with other souls, and at some point we will merge together and become a collective consciousness, groups of consciousness, and these groups will merge together, magnetize, and we will travel together back to the source, and we will become God again. So, yeah, this is who we are. But I just realized that I wanted to talk about something else. The question was, what makes a human a spiritual being? Fuck. So this Big Bang happened, and photons, points of light, traveled out everyone in a different direction, just out there. And this photon was high like what is light? Light is energy which is vibrating in such high frequency that is emanating light. It is also an electromagnetic field which is so electrified and so quickly the pulsating that it becomes just so dense of energy that it glows. It becomes light. But what happens when this little light source is traveling out into this new formed universe and space, and it becomes smaller and smaller? This electromagnetic field is separated. It's not as strong as it was before, so it gets weaker. And when it gets weaker, and the frequency and the vibration will becoming weaker and slower. So the vibrations are like, and at some point these energy fields will form matter. And yeah, that's why a human is a spiritual being. I'm so sorry that I don't have a script, and that's why I'm going from here to there. But to answer again this question, what makes a human a spiritual being? So a human is a multidimensional being. What this means is that this light traveled so far out into space that it became dense. It became so slow in vibration that it became matter. But our core is still this light, right? And we are still a field of energy. In another dimension, we don't have a body. It's just because that right now you are on your journey in the third dimension. As this photon, you're in the third dimension. At some point, you will grow out of this third dimension and you will get into the fourth dimension and then into the fifth dimension, where you will lose your body again. Because again, you're just this soul wandering through space and time and through this universe. And while it is traveling through time and space, you will have a body. That's the definition of the third dimension. But at some point, we will outgrow this third dimension. How, you ask? I'll tell you. At some point, we will get rid of all the dense, heavy emotions and energies. Fear. We will get rid of fear. Because we will first intellectually understand that separatedness is just an illusion. I mean, now you understand why. You saw it on this Taurus. At some point, like, this is just a game. There is no death. It's just an illusion. You don't have to worry about anything. The only thing you have to worry about is that to soak in this experience of emotions, this dance of energies. So first, at some point, we will understand with our intellect that, all right, so we don't have to worry about anything. So let's get, and of course we reach the level where we don't have to worry about surviving, because we understood that we don't have to fight and do stuff to survive. We just have to trust that God will give us anything, because there is abundance in this universe, because there is only unconditional love. Unconditional love created all this. So this love has everything you need. Just have to grow your electromagnetic field, your light, and everything will be magnetized and attracted. Okay, so and we will move more and more into our true self, into our consciousness. How? Well, by meditating, by going inwards. We have experienced the outer world, the material world enough. We understand, we get it now. This was just to get the lesson of, to understand what love really is. We experienced enough scarcity and fear and all these dense emotions. We just needed to experience all of this to appreciate the good things. So now we can go back again into our real self, into our core, by closing our eyes and fall into this consciousness. And there is where the fourth dimension lies. You know, at this point there happened something else. What happened was that you understood this is like a big thing. You traveled out of source into the darkness, and you forgot who you truly are. And at this point you remembered again. So let me put it like this. God is the most powerful, like there is nothing above God, right? Well, there is. What? Well, a God who forgot that he is God, going through shit and remembering through that shit again that he is God, is a bit more God than the original God. You understand why? So this is what we call Christ consciousness. It's like the consciousness who remembered again, who went through all this darkness, and without help from the outside, it remembered again that it is divine soul, divine light. So, and at this moment you have reached the next level. So from a third density being, you became a fourth density being. What does that mean? So a second density being is a dog, for example, because he doesn't know that he is. He just is. He doesn't have an ego. But what we are doing with dogs is we are slowly giving them an ego, right? We give them names. We talk to them. So at some point, my dog his soul will evolve and become a person, become a more defined being. So a dog will reach the third density. It will get an ego. And for a long, long time, he will identify with his ego. And he will say that I am this entity, and I'm separated, I'm on my own. And then back to what I was saying, and at some point the soul will reach the next density, the fourth density, where you understand, oh, I was playing this role of this person, of this ego, but now I understand that this is not who I truly am. Then we will go inside and we will reach the fourth dimension, and by that we will have outgrown the third dimension, and then we will be in a space where there is no time and there is no space, because there are only possibilities, and there is only your consciousness that doesn't need to move around. It just has to think about stuff, and then you will create your own reality, and you will just think about something and you will manifesting it instantly, and then you will reach by that the fifth dimension, where it is just and our galaxy, the Milky Way, is 99% in fifth dimension. Our planet Earth is in the third dimension, but also this planet is moving into the next dimension, and that's why we are also experiencing a lot of stuff right now, because we are pushed into the next dimension, and to be able to get into the next dimension, we have to let go of everything which is negative, polarized, which is dense and ugly. And that's why it seems that so much ugly stuff is happening right now on our planet, because it has to show itself so we can let go of it. Crazy, right? So I'm talking for I don't know how long now. It's getting too much, I think. But I hope that now you understand who you truly are and how everything works, and yeah. I don't know. So now you know what makes a human a spiritual being. You're just a consciousness which is traveling around and experiencing stuff, and you're dipping in to the material realm of the third dimension, and at some point you will dip out again and become what you are all this time. You're just light manifested in a body, consciousness, an energy, love. This is who we are. We are one consciousness which plays with itself. It split itself up in infinite perspectives to experience itself from every perspective. I'm repeating myself, I think. That's enough. Let me know your thoughts. If you like this video, give me a like. If you want more like this, subscribe. If you have other questions, or if you're disagreeing or whatever, write it down in the comments and let's talk. Let's exchange our perspective on things. so that we can evolve and we can get closer and travel back into the light. All right, thank you for listening. I really appreciate you. If you like this video, I probably like you too. So let's connect. Follow me on Instagram, subscribe, do whatever is necessary to keep up this connection, and I will try to make more and more videos. And yeah, thanks again.